Hey guys, Harry Thomas here, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to one of my most special rankings yet. My ranking of the Disney Revival Age movies, the Disney movies that span from 2009 to 2019, the past 10 years. I was initially going to rank the Disney sequels, though there are still multiple Disney sequels I have yet to cover, and I don't want to spoil my thoughts on them before I do full reviews of them. So I'll wait until I do full reviews for the majority of them before I rank them as a whole. So I thought for now I'll rank the Disney Revival Age movies instead, as I have reviewed the majority of the Revival Age movies. Without further ado, if you want to know my favourite and least favourite Disney Revival Age movies, then just keep watching. At number 10, sorry Wreck-It Ralph fans, but I'm gonna have to say Wreck-It Ralph is my least favourite Disney Revival Age movie. Please don't me, I'm sorry. Oh, I pray I'm not going to lose any subscribers for this pick. Never before have I received more hate for my thoughts on a movie than my thoughts on Wreck-It Ralph. People last year on my Wreck-It Ralph rant were going as far as calling my opinion on this movie shockingly bad, and my Wreck-It Ralph rant has the dislikes on that rant obliterates the likes. I have over 50 dislikes on that rant alone, but I'm sorry, I am still perplexed how people can hail Wreck-It Ralph as one of the greatest Disney animated movies of all time. No, just no. While Vanellope is not a bad character, she is the one character with a sense of spunk to her. But the video game look of this and technology feel of this movie is ugly, and it destroys any magic that you want to see from a Disney classic. And Ralph as a character, he's a rip-off of Megamind. I had previously called him a rip-off of Shrek in my rant, but now I think he's more similar to Megamind, a villain who doesn't want to be villainous anymore, and they spend far too long in Sugar Rush World. My God, Sugar Rush World, I'm going to call it, is the most freaking boring and most slowly paced sequence in a Disney movie, period. And whenever that painful theme song, "When Can I See You Again," plays, I tell it to shut up. It's as if Disney was screaming at us, when can we see Wreck-It Ralph again? We want a cinematic universe for Wreck-It Ralph. People complain about Brave winning Best Animated Feature over Wreck-It Ralph. I beg to differ. Brave 110% deserved that Oscar. And Disney shoehorned in this annoying product placement. They were like, every single video game character that has ever existed stars in Wreck-It Ralph. That automatically makes it the god of video game movies. Right? Wrong, Disney. You don't give the classic video game characters a purpose in this narrative here. You just had them as cameos to manipulate people into liking this movie. So yeah, Wreck-It Ralph to me is the worst Disney Revival Age movie and one of the weakest Disney animated features ever made. At number 9, the unpopular opinions keep on coming, don't they? But Moana, sorry. while Moana's not as overrated as Wreck-It Ralph, for me Wreck-It Ralph is still Disney's most overrated, but Moana is certainly in their top 5 most overrated and overly loved and praised movies for me. Of the 2 Disney animated features of 2016, Zootopia is the all-around superior movie. Moana is easily the lesser of those 2 movies for me. While sure it has stunning ocean visuals and How Far I'll Go and You're Welcome are the most likable songs in the movie, and the 2 that do get stuck inside your heads, and it is a classic nod back to hand-drawn animation to see Maui's tattoos are 2D animators. But this movie felt like such a lackluster effort from the directors of The Little Mermaid and Aladdin, John Musker and Ron Clements, and of the island-centered Disney movies, Lilo and Stitch told that story far better. John Musker and Ron Clements just recycle the cliches they have from their previous movies of Moana's father being the King Triton, overly protective like father, and Moana's grandmother's spirit coming to visit her in the climax. That was a direct mimic of the Mufasa's ghost scene from Lion King. How dare Moana attempt to be Lion King, something it most certainly isn't. And there's also some narrative inconsistencies. How come after Moana and Maui have their fight, Maui just shows up for the final battle for no reason? We have no idea what motivated him to change his mind, and Moana has no villain, so this movie has some of the lowest stakes in a Disney movie I've ever seen, and it's an adventure that I couldn't care less for. So yeah, I gave this movie another chance, but on rewatch my rating is even lowered from 3 stars to 2. At number 8, Ralph Breaks the Internet, the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. I did enjoy this sequel significantly more than I thought I was going to. This is one of the rare Disney sequels that does surpass the original in my book, but it's still not one of my personal favourites by any stretch. While this is the good version of the Emoji Movie, Disney thankfully do product placement more harmlessly than the Emoji Movie did, and the universe of the internet is far more imaginative. And I do feel the friendship between Ralph and Vanellope was more compelling in the sequel than it was in the first. Though the Disney princess scene didn't need to make the quote, you're a princess because a big strong man showed up to solve your problems. I'm like, I call bullshit on that, Disney. Elsa and Anna don't need a man to save them ever, and the climax wasn't my cup of tea with the multiple clone Ralph army. That climax was the most dragged out finale in Disney history. At number 7, Big Hero 6. Sorry, Big Hero 6, but How to Train Your Dragon 2 deserved the Academy Awards that you won in 2014. On paper, Disney doing a more futuristic movie with Avengers vibes to it does sound awesome, but the execution of it leaves a little to be desired. This movie is a combination of good and bad for me. It does tackle the theme of grief and moving on from the loss of a loved one surprisingly maturely after the death of Hero's brother in the first act. Baymax is one of the sweetest, most huggable Disney characters ever. And I do think Hero's friends and overall team were extremely likable and unique with a individual skill, and the twist was a Disney villain twister that I for once never saw coming. The villain who wasn't who I predicted the villain would be. He only wanted to get his daughter back, so he technically wasn't that bad. Hero was so hollow and uninteresting in comparison to all the other characters, and his aunt. Now I absolutely loved his aunt. I thought she should have had far more screen time than she did, and there are no songs in Big Hero 6. At number 6, Tangled. Rapunzel is one of Disney's first, if not the first, CGI Disney princess. And even though I wouldn't have minded if this movie was hand-drawn, Tangled still gets the classic fairy tale feel of Disney spot on. Tangled is a terrific Disney movie, not perfect, but terrific. Rapunzel is one of my very favourite Disney princesses. Not only is she extra gorgeous, but Mindy Moore voices her wonderfully, and she's a princess that you care about from start to finish, and you want her to be reunited with her biological parents, the king and queen of her kingdom, and you want her to get that happy ending, and because she's just she's such a sweetheart who just wants to find out what the world is like outside the tower that she's been trapped in her entire life and lied to by Mother Gothel. Even Flynn is a awesomely written Disney prince who begins as a thief, but Rapunzel does bring out the better and good side of him, and Pascal, her chameleon. And I also love Maximus the horse, so there's no shortage of great animal sidekicks at this movie, and Mother Gothel, one of the better Disney Revival Age villains, and her villain song, "Mother knows best, listen to your mother, it's a scary world out there." My mum absolutely loves that song, and the lantern sequence. At last I see the lights. One of the most breathtaking Disney love scenes since Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Though I do wish the movie didn't take the predictable direction story-wise, where Rapunzel is tricked into thinking that Flynn let her down, and temporarily breaks up with Flynn, because you know they're going to get back together. And the climax did get gory, even by Disney standards. After Mother Gothel stabs Flynn, you see a brief sight of blood. At number 5 is a movie that I'll never let go, Frozen. Give this movie a break, Frozen haters. Frozen isn't overrated. I love it so much. 6 years later, Let It Go is one of Disney's greatest songs, period. Elsa is the Disney princess of all princesses, and I love that Anna needs to come of age and realise you can't trust everybody so easily, and this is one of the few Disney movies to tackle sisterhood, just like Lilo and Stitch did, and you can't praise Frozen without mentioning Olaf. Olaf is infinitely more funny than he ever is annoying, and I love warm hugs with my Olaf doll. Though I do think that dumb fixer-upper song could have been removed, and Hans may be Disney's most underwhelming twist villain. At number 4, Zootopia. I hate the UK title Zootropolis, so I'm going to title it by the far superior US title Zootopia. Sorry, Moana fans, I'm Team Zootopia all the way, baby. Zootopia is a ambitious masterpiece from Disney, and it well deserved to be one of their classics to gross over $1 billion, and it deserves a sequel which is in the works. Please have a Judy and Nick wedding and have a Judy and Nick have kids. That would be adorable, but yeah, I'm a Judy and a Nick Wilde shipper. Jennifer Goodwin's Judy Hopps and Jason Bale's Nick Wilde are Disney's most unlikely couple and cutest couple. Zootopia has a vital message that prejudice and discriminations shouldn't exist. It's disgusting. It's evil. We are all equals. And having this story be told with anthropomorphic animals also made sense to me, as not only are we all equals as humans, but also animals are equal to humans. I mean, and I love that the prey and the predators of Zootopia, they needed to realise that there was no need for any segregation. The Judy and Nick showed that prey animals and predator animals can live in peace happily. At number 3, Winnie the Pooh, the best Winnie the Pooh movie ever, and what a incredibly underrated masterpiece the 2011 Winnie the Pooh is. This movie is all things charming, and it's in terms of a Winnie the Pooh movie, it's 100% nailed the hand-drawn animation. It nailed the spirit and the heart of Winnie the Pooh, and it has one of the sweetest messages about teamwork and how we belong together. We should embrace teamwork and our friends. Why did this gem have to flop when shit like the Disney live action remakes gross billions? At number 2, The Princess and the Frog, the grand return to the traditional hand-drawn style that's Disney perfected back in 1937 with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I can't believe Princess and the Frog is 10 years old now, and it's entirely holds up. Disney smashed the hand-drawn animation in this movie, and I'm thankful that this movie was a box office success, because it shows that hand-drawn animation can still exist today. Princess Tiana, she is stunning, and she is a Disney princess that needs to overcome all these obstacles after the passing of her father, as she goes on such a transformation after in a twist, she kisses the frog prince and she transforms into a frog herself. I love that Disney did that twist. She also has a strong relationship with her mother. Any Disney movie with a strong mother is automatically perfect in my eyes, and the New Orleans location was a different location from the original Frog Prince tale, but it's a fabulously original location to see New Orleans in the 1920s, and the Shadow Man is a master manipulator and awesome Disney villain in his own right, and there are even some timeless songs that's a feature in the soundtrack, from I'm Almost There to Are You Ready? And the fireflies are deaf. That's that should be included on everybody's top 15 saddest Disney moments. Yeah, yeah, from a Disney classic. This I love that this movie went back to the traditional formula. It has it all. And my number one favourite Disney Revival Age movie would be Frozen 2, the greatest Disney sequel of all time. I still don't get why critics and audiences are calling Frozen 2 an inferior follow-up, but I completely disagree. I adored every single millisecond of Frozen 2. It did everything better than the original Frozen, from the sister bond with Elsa and Anna to the location, to the soundtrack, and the twists. And there's no Huns in this movie, thank God. And I defend Frozen 2 for having no villain. That was the right decision because it didn't need one. The stakes were extra high without a forced antagonist. I forgot to mention this in my initial review, but Show Yourself would be on par with Into the Unknown and The Next Right Thing as they are my three favourite songs from this movie. But I am overjoyed to hear Frozen 2 has the biggest opening box office weekend for an animated movie ever. It truly deserves it and more. And I even though Jennifer Lee and Chris Buck have no current plans for a Frozen 3, I am still requesting them to make a Frozen 3 happen, as there is still more story to tell after Frozen 2's ending. So I am proud to call Frozen 2 the best Disney Revival Age movie. So that was my ranking of the Disney Revival Age movies. I'm sure this ranking has the most unpopular opinions ever, but it depends on what you want from a Disney classic, and I am super hyped to see what the Disney classics Disney have in the works on their schedule for the 2020s, and what age that will be titled. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this ranking. And what's your ranking of the Disney Revival Age movies? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you all next time when I review Chris Stuckman's recent short movie that he posted. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.